Well, hello. And for once, I'm not on my virtual sofa. I'm actually back today in the office for the first time in 3 months. It's great. And I have two very special guests today, Cheryl Carter and Edward Donovan. They are relatively recent friends of the symphony, but very, very important ones. We're delighted that you're with us. How are you doing? How have you been coping with the lockdown? It's good to see you.
Well, the lockdown has been problematic, but when we do venture out, we wear a mask.
So tell us a bit about your involvement with Stamford Symphony and how you got into orchestral music. Do you play instruments? Tell us your story.
Yes, I did play an instrument, two instruments. I played the flute and the piano. We listened to classical music here at our home, and also when I was growing up, my dad would play classical music every single weekend. He had an ear for music, which meant he could listen to a piece and just sit down and play it from memory.
So my interest in classical music, I think, started when I was in college, because I would, when I was studying, I needed something to kind of keep my attention. So I started playing classical music then. And fortunately, my two sons both played cello from elementary school through high school. And my older son even played 2 years in his college orchestra. So I think from that standpoint, cello has become my favorite instrument.
Have you been able to catch up with the Stamford Symphony channel and listen to any music online while you've been isolating?
Yesterday, I listened to the violin sonata, which was very good. It was not a long piece, but it was enough to get me back into the mood of classical music, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Now, Ed and Cheryl, you've done an incredibly generous thing for us. You've agreed to donate $10,000 if we can match that with new and additional gifts from fellow donors and subscribers like yourself. Tell us why you've decided to do that.
Well, I've been very fortunate financially. After college, I early on invested in a stock IRA, which has performed very well for me. And so now I'm in a position financially, since I don't work full-time any longer, to use some of that money for organizations such as my university and the Stamford Symphony. And my hope is that by making this donation, that others will match that and maybe even provide more money to the symphony other than the $10,000. So I'm hoping that we can find other subscribers or people who maybe aren't members of the symphony at this point in time, who will match that and provide some additional funding for a great organization such as the Stamford Symphony.
It certainly will. We've been able to support our musicians by paying them something towards the concerts we lost in March and April, and we very much want to keep resourcing them in the fall and throughout next season. We're not quite sure what that's going to look like yet. We'll be working on that over the summer and making some announcements soon. Finally, what are you looking forward to when we can get back? And what would you say to fellow donors and subscribers like yourselves?
I would say just keep those subscriptions, going, and perhaps even gift a subscription to a friend or a family member. Perhaps infiltrating, maybe you do this already, into the school system to gather some younger students that are interested in music or studying music.
And I'm very much looking forward to Michael Stern and what he's going to do for the symphony and present to the audience from his background. And I very much enjoy some new pieces, but with a mixture of more well-known pieces that the symphony plays. I think that kind of mixture opens up new opportunities for listening to classical music.
That's wonderful. Thank you for all those thoughts. We really appreciate what you've done for us, and we can't wait to be back with you and everybody at the Palace Theatre as soon as it's safe and as soon as it's possible. Ed and Cheryl, thank you so much. Stay safe, and we'll see you as soon as we possibly can.
That's good. Thank you,
Thank
Russell.
you.